Welcome to the web series Exploring 9/11, The World Before and After, a production of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum. My name is Clifford Chanin, and I'm a Senior Program Advisor at the museum. My guest today is Hassan Abbas, who is a research fellow at Harvard University's Belfer Center, its project on managing the atom and international security. He's recently received a PhD from the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University. Also, in a previous life, I guess we can say, Hassan Abbas served as the sub-divisional police chief in Pakistan's Northwest Frontier Province, this from 1996 to 1998. Hassan, I wonder if it's not too much to ask if we could really take it back to the most basic starting point. Many of us don't know much about Pakistan, haven't been there, and certainly in an earlier time, unfortunately, may not have been paying that much attention to it. But certainly now Pakistan has become an important country from the security point of view, many changes there, and we'd like to go back to the beginning. We talk about the different territories of Pakistan, the different populations of Pakistan, but where do we start with Pakistan 101 to introduce this nation to our audience?
I would say we should begin by talking about 1947, when the country had come into being, and the very idea of Pakistan. The idea of Pakistan was that within the Indian subcontinent, the Muslims were given a separate land, which they demanded. And very similar to, I would say, the only other case of comparison would be Israel, which was created also in the name of religion. Pakistan is the only other country, and this reference is often made in Pakistan. But in case of Pakistan, the country had 5 different ethnic groups: Sindhis, Punjabis, Pashtuns, Balochis, and Bengalis. And it was the idea was that the Muslim identity is the central framework of this new country. However, it started off as a democracy by a person who, the founding father, who was more British than the British, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Later on, the problem was that some of the religious elites, not elites, actually the religious clergy, they said, well, if a country is created in the name of religion, we will be the one who will define what this country is. So that should be the beginning. 5 different ethnic groups, a religious identity, and very little infrastructure, not much education, and a feudal class which was ruling the country. And the feudal class was educated from Cambridge and from Oxford.
So in Pakistan, we come to a country that was created out of a sense of religious identity, which is 98–95% Muslim, and which has nonetheless ethnic differences that don't always make for good relations, in spite of the fact that there are these religious similarities. How has the ethnic and religious mix of Pakistan evolved and taken shape since the country was created?
I would say both religious and ethnic factors played a very important role. Religious factor in terms of identity, in terms of how much religion should be made part of the state, of the constitution, of the state policy. And ethnic diversity, though a positive thing overall, but there was a tussle of which ethnic group will be important in running the country, because there was this inter-ethnic confrontation, which ultimately led to division of Pakistan or a separation of Pakistan in 1971. The Bengalis, who in any case were about 1,000 miles away on the other side of India, they left the country. But what remained of Pakistan, there were 4 major ethnic groups. And even in that case, starting from Northwest Frontier Province, about 40% or 50% of Pashtuns lived in Pakistan, the rest lived in Afghanistan. In case of Sindh province, part of Sindhis were in Pakistan, part in India. Punjab province, the biggest province, also divided between India and Pakistan. The 4th province, Balochistan, was divided between Iran and Pakistan. So there were ethnic groups which straddled across the borders. So it was, yes, it was convenient to draw a line and say this is a new country, but the ethnic linkages went across the borders.
So the fact of the border wasn't really a reflection of the reality of the exchanges across borders between tribal groups, ethnic groups that might be located partly in Pakistan and partly across a line into another country.
Absolutely, and the loyalty of these ethnic groups, but not necessarily with one state. The Pashtun for instance, or Pathan, what we call, who were in Peshawar, had good relations with across the border, with Kabul also. Same was the case in Punjab, though in case of Punjab it was different because the division was between Hindus and Muslims. So that religious divide also ensured that the ethnic division is more permanent. In case of Pashtuns, on both sides were people with the same ethnic identity, same language, same culture, and most importantly, same religion.
And this is the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Exactly.